that are just joining on. Welcome along. Although it's not the actual stream I set up earlier, but it is a different stream because for some reason it won't let me access the other stream. So welcome along. I'll just give it a few seconds for people to join on because obviously people will be in the other one. So please join on here. And of course, if you're watching this on the replay, welcome along everybody. I'm Andycharger, and it's very cold in the garage tonight. But I thought I'd give a weekly update about the car, what we've got going on, some of the things I've done actually, or some of the things I've got planned for the car over the next few weeks. No one's appeared yet, so hopefully it is sharing this out to people and people are aware. Welcome along if you're just joining on for the first time tonight. If you watch my channel, you'll know what I'm all about. And if you don't, my name is Andy and I cover the Audi TT Mark 1. Of course, the other feed or the... Oh yeah, Christy Jamie, how you doing? Yeah, it needs a bit. It was a bit cold, wasn't it, last week? So it's not. Unfortunately, they're not woolly gloves. They're just like rubber sight gloves, which I've dug out. So welcome along, people that are joining on. So I'm Andy, and I thought I'd do these like weekly updates really now, so we can get some content, engage with you guys, talk about what's going on in the scene, things I've got going on, questions you may have. Papaya is still here, and I have thanks for giving it a thumbs up, guys. If you're enjoying what you're watching, do give it a thumbs up. Hi Raphael, how you doing? Please do give the feed a little thumbs up if you're enjoying watching it. I haven't made a decision on the car. If you joined me last week, you know I was umming and ahhing whether to sell the Papaya, which almost matches my hoodie tonight, but so I have had to think about it over the last few days, and the guy came back to me who was interested in buying the car, and he said he'd happily pay 10,000 for it. And I've reached out to a few people on the scene, asking for their opinions and their thoughts behind it. I had a bit of a mixed reaction, really. Some people were sort of saying I should snap the guy's hand off and take the money, but a lot of people were saying I would regret it if I did sell, and I think they're probably right because it's a beautiful car, as we know. A fantastic car, and if I did sell it, I think I would regret it. So I've decided for the time being, the guy that was interested in it, that so it wasn't for sale. The guy approached me and he sort of asked about it and asked about if I knew any others that were for sale, not my one, but if any others were for sale, and made me think, should I see if it should test the market for it? Anyway, I did test the market. He was interested, and but yeah, said if I want, I think about selling it again in the future, 6, 8, 10 months, 12 months down the line, I'm interested to go back and speak to him. So I guess he's looking, but he's not overly, he's not overly rushed over. He was looking for the right vehicle. So it's still here, the Papaya, and it will be remaining in the household. So welcome along, guys. We just joined on for the first time. So there's a few more of you entering the chat now. Please put your comments in the chat if you want to ask me anything. Ask anybody else any questions that they may have. It's a really good melting pot of ideas, that we all get together. We talk about our cars, we ask each other suggestions, and then people can feed back. So if you've got any problems, put it in the chat and people will probably give you some help. Can't say I'll be able to answer the questions because I'm not an engineer. I'm not that technical. I know a little bit about the cars, but I'm not one of the experts in the field. But I'm sure people that are watching will be able to give you some feedback. So if you are enjoying what you're watching, guys, please do hit that like button on here as well. I see a couple of people have done that. So please do give the feed a like. It really helps me. It really lets me know that you guys are enjoying what you're watching, and it makes me know if it's worthwhile we're doing it every week. But hopefully it will be. But yes, if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat. So today I've had a day off today. I don't get many days off work, but I had a day off today because I had the dentist, and I also arranged to go and pick up a part for the car. Now, the Papaya has had its MOT recently, and those of you that have been watching recently know it broke down at the Ace Cafe show we had the other week. So I need to get a new alternator for it. But after speaking to Phil Pottinger, I think it was, on here, he was very kindly said to me that I should test the voltage regulator, because a regulator is about £22, and the alternator is about 150. So if the regulator's failed, that will only be the only bit I need to replace. So how do I test the voltage on the car? Well, essentially there's a menu on the heater control matrix, a secret menu as they class it as, and you turn the dial to 20C on the dials, and it will tell you the voltage is being output by the car. Now, if you can think about the voltage that's being generated, your car battery is a 12-volt battery, but when that car is running and you've got the alternator kicking in, it's kicking out about 14.2 volts. It's around that sort of mark, sometimes a little bit less. But if your alternator is failing, that voltage regulator is failing, you're going to find it's going to be a lot less than 13, probably down 12, 11, 10, further down that way if you're having problems. So if the voltage is dropping and it's not getting there when you've got the car running, that could be a sign that the voltage regulator's gone. So I do need to do that test. I was thinking about maybe doing it tonight with you guys watching. We could all jump in together. Maybe we could have a look and see if we can get that result out of the car tonight, which would be really good to share with you guys also. So the alternator hasn't been done yet. I haven't disassembled the car either, but when I do, I'll be taking the front bumper off and we can take a look at that. But I'll give you a few more updates as well. So those of you that know about the project car, the black project car that this engine right here is out of. So there is the BAM engine out of the project car. The BAM engine is still here. I haven't taken it apart yet, and I think we'll do that as a live as well. So for those of you that are interested in finding out what's happened to the BAM engine in the Project TT, I think we will be, let's get in the head bolts off that, spin them off, and then we can see what damage is in there. Interestingly, I had a young lad come around yesterday who's buying some bits off me for his car. So he's got a Mark 1 TT in black. Obviously, the Project TT is black as well. Needed some panels. He needed a couple of wings. He needed a bonnet, and he needs a rear boot lid as well, or the trunk, if you're watching in the US. But you can probably notice in the corner the trunk lid is still over there, the black trunk lid. We couldn't get it in his car. It had a little A1. It was never going in there, nor was the bonnet actually. But what we did do is we managed to get the wings in the car. So he bought the pair of wings. And the wings have got no rot in them whatsoever. They were like good. They were really good wings. One had been painted, but the other wing was like out of the factory. No rot on it whatsoever. And I'm a bit gutted really because the Papaya's driver's side wing has got a little bit of snotty rotting on the outside of the edge of that wing. So I need to put a new wing on. Obviously, the passenger side, I had a new wing put on earlier this year. When my friend did the roof rails and the wing and the wing mirror. So that's a new wing. That needs a new wing on that side. So I was going to use that black wing, get it painted up and bolt it on. But obviously I've now sold it. So I sold those two wings yesterday. But again, it's more bits and more money I'm making out of that project car. So if you think when we bought the project car, I paid £300 for it, for that coupe with the failed engine. And I've sold loads of parts off that car. I've probably made my money over 4 or 5 times out of that. So if you are breaking a car, you can make significant money. I've got a really squeaky door, guys, so I'm going to try and push that shut. And it's also letting heat out of my house. But yeah, so that project car has made its money back many times over. And I'm thinking there's obviously money to be made in breaking cars, as we know, because there's quite a lot of people doing it. And I spent this afternoon with a TT breaker in North London, a guy called Serkan Miskin. Fantastic guy, always got parts available, really recommend Serkan. And I took a trip over there because for the Papaya, it does need, or it's got some, what does the term the MOT centre used? It's got some evidence of corrosion, I think, on the rear subframe. So I went and bought a rear subframe from Serkan. It has been treated. It has been painted. It's not as pristine as I thought it was in the pictures, but it's made me think I'm going to get it stripped down again. I'm going to get it, whatever the class is, like, dipped, stripped, and then powder coated. It's been painted in some sort of hammerite that's not quite dry. It still looks a little bit snotty anyway. So I think let's get it stripped down. Let's see what we can get it to look like. So yeah, I'm going to give that a go and get it off. So I've got a subframe, a front subframe that I had professionally refinished, powder coated last year that hangs on my shelf, and I'd like to have the same for the rear subframe as well. So I've got them for the future. Obviously, it's always good to pick up these parts. If you are a Mark 1 guy or girl, and you have got a 3.2 particularly, or if you've got a, let's say you've got a 225 even, or 1.8, 180 or 150, whatever you've got. It's worth building up a few of these parts at the moment. What was that? Add a Q&A sticker. Time is it for you? Should we try that, guys? It's asking me to add a question and answer sticker on there. Oh, that's just popped off. Didn't I miss that? Okay, never mind. So if you've got any questions, guys, please put it in the chat. I said a few of you watching, and if you are enjoying me talking nonsense about the cars, then please do smash that like button so I know you're enjoying what I'm watching. And please put all your sort of questions in the chat. So going back to the project car, what's left of it is sitting in the garden right now. It's got a tar pouring over it, which I bet is blown away tonight because it's absolutely, well, it's just tipping down. It's horrible outside. But I've got this subframe that I've bought today. So I'm going to show you the subframe I've got. Again, it's not quite, this is it. So this is the rear subframe that you're looking at right here. And if I get up close, you can see it's okay, but it is a little bit salty in it, really. You can see that. I don't know if you can see the detail on it. You can see that, guys. So it's done in hammerite, and I mean it's all right. But if I'm going to get it spot on, then I'm going to strip that, and I'm going to get it powder coated so it's absolutely spot on. So that needs to go on this car. Do I do it myself? Do I take the whole of the back end off, all the subframe, all the arms, everything else, strip it down and maybe rebuild it and get it to its absolutely pristine? I could do that because I think it is a little bit scruffy underneath. Funny enough, I was at Sercans today. For those of you that know the cars in the sort of southeast, you know that Tony Porter had a V6 and he had an accident in it not so long ago, and it's now at Sercans being broken. So Tony, if you're watching, I saw your car today. Sorry to say, and there wasn't an awful lot of it what I recognised from last time I saw your beautiful car. But we know that some of these have to go off to TT heaven to make the rest of them live on. And for all I know, that subframe could have been off your car, so it does live on in some context. But of course, the Papaya's here. I have charged the battery up, so if I need to start it and get it going, I can do. I'm probably not going to start it tonight because it's I've got the garage door shut. Got a dodgy door at the moment, doesn't open anymore, so I've got a new garage door coming to be fitted. It's locked shut at the moment, so that's not great. The Papaya's going nowhere, but at least it's safe. I've still got on the wall as well, which you probably can't see there. So on the wall is a 1.8 T under tray off my Roadster. Need to get it back on because now the weather's not so great. There's salt on the roads and there's water just being thrown up. It's all just chucking it up into the engine bay and will cause corrosion. So we want to avoid that. Thanks for giving it a like, guys. See some people are liking what we're watching, which is great. Please do give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying what you're watching. Really helps me know that I'm doing a good job, and hopefully I am doing a good job. But the hat and my glasses in my pocket, actually, you probably don't recognise Dan Clarkson, right, Dan? Got the Romford hat on, wrong team, but I've got the Romford hat on. There you go. Now you know it's me. I'll put my glass on my head and then you know it's me. Yeah, so yesterday, well, technically, hi mate, you hope you're well. I'll see you Saturday night for training. I will be there this week. My social calendar is coming to an end now, so I'll be back on the ice full time. And I am now also a stone and a half lighter since you last saw me. So I'm losing a bit of weight, and I should be zipping around that ice nice and quick this week, I hope. Shut that door up because it's squeaking. But yeah, so I forgot what I was going to say then. Oh yeah, so last weekend, the weekend just gone, I have filmed a video with the Roadster. Took the Roadster out, and I've done a video on why you should buy an Audi TT Mark 1 Roadster right now and why you should drive it throughout the winter. And if you own one already, why you should carry on driving it. Don't put it away. Don't put it in the garage, because yesterday and the Sunday before, beautiful blue skies. Wasn't particularly warm, but that's fine. You turn the heats and seats up on these cars and they absolutely roast you. Hiya, Richard. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I know you couldn't make it last week on the stream, so welcome along again. And I know that you've owned a Roadster yourself, so you know what I'm talking about. Those cars, you turn those seats up and they will set fire to your backside. They are so hot. You've got the windows up, you've got the rear deflector up. The wind, as you're hurtling along, doesn't affect you. It's quiet in the cabin, and you are lovely and toasty warm, zipping around the street. The vision is amazing. You've got the sun beating down. It's cold. It's all those sort of feelings. It's really invigorating. So I highly recommend anyone that's not driven a roadster to get one and get out and enjoy it, because they're not just a summer car with a roof down. They're a winter car with a roof down. It's just the best feeling. So I've done a video which I'm hopefully you enjoyed. It'll be released tomorrow night at 7:30, I believe. And I edited it down last night, so it's all finished. Added some extra bits in from yesterday that I'd missed from the weekend before. So it should be a really good watch, and it will give you a real insight into why it's so good owning a roadster, even at this time of year. And the good thing about them right now is because most people view them as a summer car, that the price of them is rock bottom, because no one wants one in the winter. Everyone's trying to sell it on cheap. So it's a great time to pick one up. So if you want a toy for a winter, they're so reasonably priced, you can get it. It was down Hollybush Road and see the car again today. Dan, was that the Papaya car you sent me a picture of? Is that the one you mean, the one like mine? That's actually not, because that's the one, it's actually a Morrow blue car that's been painted. And I can't remember the chap's name, something Maloney that owns it now, or Mahoney. And the guy that owned it before, the blue one. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the Morrow blue one. Yeah, if you open the Mr. G, thank you for sending me a super thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that. You're always one of my biggest fans, and I always appreciate when you send me a bit of money, Mr. GMT. Hit me up on Facebook, mate, because I don't know your name, because you're only a Mr. GMT, but you're always very kind, and you always make a donation to my channel. So I really appreciate that. Anyone that sort of wants to support the channel and send me a super thanks, they're always most appreciated. So thanks, buddy, for doing that. Yes, please do send me a message either on email or on Facebook. It'd be great to hit you up. I know you're over in Australia, so it'd be great to know what your car's like and what you're up to. I think we have spoken before. I think that I might have sourced you a part that we sent out there. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was you. I've got a really squeaky door, guys. Sorry. But Dan, going back to your Papaya car, you see, that was originally built by Bogdan, who used to bring the car to many shows, and he's commented on a few of my Instagram posts that feature that car, and he always says he misses that car. So that's the trouble, isn't it? And that's another one of the factors into, should I sell this car? And the answer to that question right now is definitely not. I think Bryn was probably one of the ones that also helped tip the balance into not selling it, because he did say to me, 10 grand is 10 grand, but that's a Papaya TT. And he said if he'd had one, if he'd had the option to have his in a coupe, low mileage, it would be an all-time keeper. He wouldn't get rid of it. So yeah, crazy if he's been on Bogdan's. Yeah, that's right. It is. It's different, isn't it? It's like, and I think if I remember rightly, Richard, I think he's actually removed the original Mark 1 spoiler, not just bolted over the top. Travis, how you doing, buddy? Great to hear from you. Hope things are going well in the US at the moment. We need to get together and do do a live together. I wonder if I could invite you in. I might even invite you in, guys, if you wanted to come in, and we can have a chat. So that would be good. Let's see if I can. Let me see if I can get an option to invite people in. What is that option? Oh no, that's turning the camera off. That's not what I want. I'll work that out, guys, for next time, I think, because it'd be really good to get you guys in. I'm going to see what else I can do. We start a Q&A session. Right, I want to know what's going on in your cars. I'm going to say, what colour is your Audi TT? So I'll be interested to know what colour cars you guys have got. Let's ask that question. What colour is your Audi TT? Travis, thanks, buddy, for sending me some money. You're very kind for sending me a super thanks, buddy, and I really appreciate that. I'm at work currently, but let's find a time soon. Yeah, Mate, let's do one at the weekend, Travis. Let's do a live at the weekend, me and you. And I think what's the name of the guy that's out sort of Colorado way that drives a roadster? He wants to get on the live as well. So maybe we'll do a UK US collab maybe later in the week. That'd be really cool to do that. Thanks for sending me a super thanks, though, buddy. Really appreciate that. I forget you're 5 hours behind or something. Sadly, none are still on the search for number 6. Phil Richardson, Phantom Black Pearl, 3.2 V6. Yeah, what a lovely colour that is. What is the cut? So is it cherry pearl? No, it's not cherry pearl black. Is it pearl black cherry? Whatever it is. But there's about 3 or 4 different colour blacks, I think, in the Mark 1 black pearl on my 225. Yeah, seeing that car. Morrow Blue VR6. People have a real wide range of cars. I should ask the question is that not only what is your car, but what is Andy Mortimer? How you doing, mate? I know you've got a purple Merlin Roadster. Hope it passes the MOT, and then we'll see you in Belgium, won't we? My car is black roof, lots of sparkles and red with sparkles. Quattro Special Edition. Looks like a Quattro Sport Monster wheels. Wicked. That sounds wicked, Horace. Red and black, yeah. I think that combination of the Quattro Sport. Before I was a TT owner, I was the Quattro Sport colour scheme was completely lost on me. So I'd see a TT going around, and I knew nothing about the black roof and the different colour body. I didn't know that was a special edition until I started becoming a fan. So I think a lot of people see Quattro Sports, and because the styling is very similar to a standard TT, it's got a black from the outside, it's got a black roof. That's something about the only difference you'd really notice, isn't it? I know our sort of like trained eyes know things such as the phantom black grills, and they've been gloss black. They've been done, and the spats on the back wheels, and obviously the wheels are different with the staggered wheels. Now there's those differences that people, unless they really are in the know, they are really wasted on people. They don't really spot that. So, but us as fans, we really pick up on that. So the Roadster, again, obviously we were out in that yesterday. I really hope you enjoy the video that's coming tomorrow night on that. It's really is quite a cool video. I enjoyed making it. Just me out with my phone on the dash, GoPro behind my head, just filming and chatting as I'm going along. People must have thought I was bonkers driving along, just not chatting away to myself, but it's what it is. It's all good fun, and hopefully it brings a new sort of context to you guys. So some of the jobs I've got coming up then, as we spoke about, we are going to do that subframe. We're going to go into a bit more detail on that subframe, see what we can get going on with that. I'm going to do the alternator, as we mentioned, but I am going to do I'm going to try and replace, if it is the voltage regulator, we'll do that first. But I think we'll probably need to get the alternator off to get to all the relevant components anyway. So I think we'll do that, and we are going to go through the front. I know you've probably seen Dom's done a video on going either from the bottom or from the front. And if those of you that have watched my video on the oil pressure sensor on the 3.2, you will know I did something very similar, because the Bentley manual and the Haynes manual tell you for doing that job to go up from underneath, and you still can't reach it. But the best option, a lot of these cars, bumper off, pull things forward, slam panel forward, radiator slightly tipped forward as well. You can just pull these alternators out. The 225 1.8 turbo, you could get the alternator right here. This car, you got to go through the front. So it's very different. Many people think it's a convertible. I don't know why, but they do. Yeah, because it's got that black roof, I expect. You probably think, oh yeah, from a distance. Because sometimes you see roadsters that have got the hard top on them, and they're normally in maybe a different colour to the car. So if it's got a black hard top and it's a different colour body, that would also look like a Quattro Sport as well. My car needs bushings, all of them, shocks, brakes, etc. Sounds like a lot of work. So I've got this sitting on the shelf right here. Look, here you go. That is a set of bushings out of a subframe. So when I had the and these bushings, these ones don't look too bad, right? And the thing with the subframe bushes, in case you aren't aware, and if Jeff Bedford's watching, he'll know where I'm going with this, because he ruined a couple of subframes doing this. So these are the bushings, and they sit in your subframe. And I like the bushings that go in the lower control arms. You don't push these in. These just literally pop into place. And if you need to get them out, you put a screwdriver through the hole, pull down, they pop out of the subframe. There's no push in, there's no press in, they just pop out. So of course, if you're having a subframe powder coated or painted, you want to remove those before you do that job anyway. So you guys have a great TT scene there. There's no TT scene in the US. Horace, if you were on there, you need to check out TT Travis, who's in this chat as well. So if you need to check out anything in the US, Travis has got a great channel on the Audi TT. He's more over on the east coast of the US. So I'm not sure where you are, Horace, but definitely check out Travis's channel. Also, check out Hunter Direction. He's got some great Mark 1 content. He's over in Washington State, but definitely check that out. We pay 10K, saw one for sale here for that price, and it was gone away. Yeah. Mr. GMT. So my Insta is Andy_C_Davies, Davies. So I'm not Andycharger on Instagram. I'm Andy_C_Davies. Find me on there and send me a friend request, send me a message, and we'll hook up and talk about your car, because you're always a big support of the channel, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, my friend. What was that? Imola. Oh, Clocktown. You've got an Imola. Is that a roadster or is that a coupe? Because the coupes, there's only a few of them about. There's a couple of Imola roadsters about. There is only one 3.2 V6 Imola yellow coupe that I am aware of, and that is owned by Jeff Bedford, as I just mentioned about his bushings. So ABT, it's Alex. Oh, is that you, Alex? Oh, well, we know your car. I need to come and see you, Alex. I need to come and check that car out. My hoodie would go well with your car, wouldn't it? So, yeah. Hello, I'm originally from Indonesia. Alex, yeah, I want to come and I want to try and see all the ABT cars. I want to see them all that are left that I can get my hands on. Not get my hands on, but visit. So there's one that goes to the South End shows quite a bit. It's got some really bad cracking around the bodywork. Looks really tired, feels really tired. You know, I think if I had that car, I'd definitely do the work on it. And obviously you've got your beautiful car that's been hand nut and bolt restoration. Would love to see that. Maybe we'll have to get together. You can come and take me for a spin in it. We can do a feature. If I can do a feature on your car on the channel, I'd really like that. Mr. GMT, I've got a follow request. I will respond to that after the feed, but if I do it now, why would I cut you people off? I don't want to cut you people off. But yeah, so Alex, let's do a feature on your car, yeah. So Leon, I can't even see. Leonino Drahama. Hello, I'm from Indonesia. Cool. Are you in the UK now, or where are you at the moment if you're not in Indonesia anymore? And what TT have you got? Be great to hear. Where was I going to go on when I was talking about the cars and jobs? Oh, jobs. We were talking about jobs, weren't we? So I'm going to do the voltage regulator on the car as well. The 1.8T BAM engine right here. We still need to strip it down, take it apart, and find out what's happened. We know what happened because the belt strip teeth and the belt that was on that car. I've got two cam belts here, okay, and get them right. So this is the cam belt that I took off my Roadster when Breen came down and taught me how to do a cam belt change, which I was really appreciative of. Now the belt, they say that the belts you can't really tell, but if you're starting to see like an imprint through the belt, I mean, it's hardly done any miles, that one. But this belt compared to it, I don't know if we can hold both belts up and you can see. So the belt in my hand here is the belt off this engine in question, right? That side doesn't really make a difference, but if I turn it inside out and we go around this belt, see if you can see a problem. Shout when you see it. I suppose you can see a little bit of chipping teeth there, but that's not the best bit. We'll keep feeding it through because the good bit's coming up. Here we go. Here we go. There, look. You see that? There are no teeth on the belt there. No teeth whatsoever. So it's lost. It's lost about 20, hold it like that. You can see the teeth pattern there. And then this is completely smooth. It's lost about 20 teeth off the belt. Madness. In fact, if you do that, it actually goes straight, it goes flat. So yeah, so that belt has obviously caused a lot of damage to that car. Now that's down to the guy for not changing it up. You know, that's the whole point why cam belts should be done every 5 years or 70,000 miles or 60,000 miles. I'm not sure which one it is now. But what you shouldn't do is go past that recommended maintenance. If you buy a car and there's no evidence of that cam belt being done, one of the first things I would do is do that cam belt. Yes, it'll be maybe an investment of, well, if you do it yourself, the kit's about £300. But if you are having it done at the garage, expect to pay £500. Now, if you're buying a cheap car, £500 is a lot of money, isn't it? In the grand scheme of things. But you might buy that car and it might go bang next week unless you do it. So that's what happened to the guy that owned the car before me. So it was a non-runner when I bought it. The engine we've had out of the car since. It's sitting on an engine stand. I'm going to strip it down. We're going to look at the valves. The young lad that came over yesterday that bought the wings, he was peering through the inlet manifold trying to look at the valves. Say, oh, I can see that one's up, that one's up. But I'd imagine when we take it off, we're going to find a lot of damage to those valves, but we'll find out. Horace, where are you from? I'm from New England. I don't see many TTs all around here. Oh, sorry, sorry, Travis, that's you. I was going to say, Travis is in New England, but that's you saying that, Travis. Sorry, mate. Right, I'm going to see if I can just scroll back. So I've missed a couple of messages, guys, and I don't want to leave people out. Sounds good. Need a new rear diff. I'm stuck in four-wheel drive. No disengage when you remove the Haldix view. Strangely. Okay. So maybe we can do a little bit of I don't know what the diff is like on the ABS cars compared to the standard cars, but I've got a spare diff sitting in my garage right now, Alex. But what I want off it is my Haldix doesn't work on my Roadster. And I think the Haldix has failed. And I've got a Haldix attached to it. So I want to take the Haldix off that, fit it to the Roadster, and then the diff is surplus requirement. So if that's something that might, I know you know your way around a toolbox, so maybe we could do something on that, maybe help each other out. I've got the parts, you've got the know-how, and I've got the car I need sorting out. So, and we can sort your ABS car. I get to see it, and then we can also do a feature on it as well. Yeah, which would be pretty cool. Bring the baby with you as well if you want. We could see you all. How do you know the Haldix has failed? Right, so I'm getting no codes whatsoever when I scan the car. I know the Haldix is not operating because I put a camera alongside my car on a very slippy bit of mud. And what you'd expect is if you spin the wheels up, put a lot of power into them, yeah, you'd expect the back wheels to see them trying to bite and to try and engage in slow motion. My back wheels don't do anything. I can also wheel spin the car away from a standing start. Not that I'm a boy racer, don't mean, but you can rev the car up and accelerate hard. If you can spin those wheels in a traditional method without any performance upgrades in a 225, then you've probably got a problem with your Haldix. So the back wheels are not engaging whatsoever. So that's how ESP lights still come on. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know if you go over a humpback bridge as well, your car can sometimes lose contact with the wheels, and you sometimes get the ESP light come on with that. But yeah, it doesn't. I'm in Atlanta, never see a TT down here. All right, you guys are in the States, yeah. No, Mark 2 and Mark 3 for that matter. No, I went to the States 2 years ago. I went to Vegas for a conference, and when I was there was a guy that follows the channel, and he offered to take me for a trip down the strip, backwards up and down the strip, in his soft top Mark III, and he knew Vegas very well, and he gave me a guide tour, told me about all the hotels. So there's a video on my channel of doing that. So if you want to check out Vegas Strip in an Audi TT, talking about all the history behind it and talking about the cars, then check out that video on my channel. It's never had very many views, that. I don't know why it doesn't have much traction, that video. Maybe I haven't put enough SEO into it, but it's a really interesting video because you get to see some lovely cars, lovely pictures. You see Vegas by night. You hear a lot of conversation about Audi TTs and Vegas sites, so it's definitely worth checking out. Yeah, Papaya's amazing. Thank you, Lambo. Oh, Lambo Lounge. So Travis and I were just talking about maybe doing a live at the weekend. If you were around, it'd be great to get you on that as well, because I think we'd get the US perspective of cars. It'd be really good to do. And you also Lambo's Lounge. My God, for about an hour, from Vegas. Oh, cool. Well, if I come back to Vegas, we'll definitely all get together. Yeah, but let's do it. Let's do a light weekend. In fact, Lambert, you've inspired me to make a video. You inspired me from your driving your roadster and talking about the countryside that I watched last week. So I thought, because over here it's very cold, and I thought I would do a video on why right now is a good time to own a roadster in the winter, because people think a roadster is a summer car, the sun's beating down, it's warm weather, the hood's down. I don't agree. I think the roadster is perfect in the winter. It's cold, you've got the seats on, you've got the hood down, you've got sunshine still streaming down, but you feel lovely and warm inside, your sort of cocooned in your car. So absolutely thought that's a great idea to do a video, because in the UK, what happens, the second-hand car market for convertibles drops in the winter. People sell them very cheap. People can't buy, you can't sell them in the winter because no one wants the soft top in the winter because it's cold. Well, I think that's a perfect time to pick one up and enjoy it as a toy over the winter with the roof down on a good day. And then, come the summer, when prices go back up, that's the time to sell it. Sell that car and move that car on for people so that they can then pick that car up and enjoy it themselves, and you get the fun in the winter. Definitely check out. PCV is about done. Perfect winter ride. I snowboard. I snowboard, but I don't go at 60. I've got ski tracks on my phone. I don't get anywhere near that. That's far too fast for my liking. Is it safe to drive my 225 with Haldex removed? Puff Daddy Juice? Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, if it's only the same as having a Haldex not working, and my Haldex doesn't work on my 225 and it's safe, just remember that it's not four-wheel drive. So if you're throwing it around, you're not going to get that extra stability from the four-wheel drive. So that's what I think about. But talking of rotors in the winter, I don't know if there's anyone out there that's looking for a project right now, a winter roadster project. But the black TT that I've got, the coupe, sold a lot of parts off that to one particular guy that's based down at Hastings, a guy called Cameron. He's got his car for sale right now. It's a roadster, and it runs, it drives. It needs a bit of TLC, but it's in good condition. He's done a lot of work on it to get it roadworthy. They're expecting a baby, and they're looking to sell the car. So if you're interested in buying a black roadster for the winter, based off my, watch my video and see if it interests you, and if it is, get in touch with me and I'll put you in touch with Cameron, because he's looking to sell his car. He wants $550 for it. I mean, that's nothing, is it really, for a 225 that drives and performs well? It's got some nice aftermarket bits. It's got an aftermarket grille, so it's got the honeycomb grille on the front as well. It's got the bumpers off my old car. It's got the interior off my old car as well. So it's a nice little project. So £550, it could be yours. So if you're interested in that, drop me a message or look up Cameron Irving on Facebook. You'll find him and you'll find his car for sale, no doubt. But definitely worth checking out. But jobs coming up. So I'm going to do the alternator. I'm also going to do a video on testing the starter motor. Starter motors tend to fail on these cars as well. So I'm going to do a bench test and show you how to bench test the starter motor. I'm also going to try and, depending on the results of this alternator, I'm going to do an alternator repair video, because there are parts of it that can burn out and you can buy an alternator repair kit. So rather than spending £150 on a new alternator, if it has failed and it's not the voltage regulator, I'm going to buy one of these repair kits for about £30 and see if we can fix it. So I think that would be the way to do it. Chapalicious has got a grey one, nice one. What colour grey is that? There isn't much snow in Portugal. I can't really play around with my Mark 1 here. No, I can understand that. It's there's never much snow in Portugal. But if you're in Portugal, maybe you fancy a nice long drive next April to the International TT show in Belgium, in Ypres, where we spoke about last week. So we're holding the International TT show once again on the 11th of April in Ypres. We had about 250 cars there. Sorry, lagged out. Did you check him out? Mad Nath. Sorry, Matt. I've missed that. I've missed the conversation, buddy. Chuck it back in the comments so I can see what you're referring to. I might have missed that. But yeah, so the International TT show is open to everybody. Mark 1s, Mark 2s, Mark 3s. We had 250 cars last year. We're going over on Wednesday the 8th. We're going to spend the night in Ghent, a lovely monastery, ex-monastery. We're staying in the first night. It looks really cool. We're going there first night. Then we're going to go to Ypres on the Thursday. Have a couple of days in Ypres. On the Friday, we're going to do a cruise with other TTs from Belgium and the local area. We get TTs from Germany, France, Spain, Italy, Poland last year, Holland, Belgium, France, UK. They were from everywhere last year, but we're going to meet at 3 o'clock on that Friday and go for a cruise in the local area. We're going to be guided by a guy called Maxim that's going to take us out. Friday night at 7:30, we've got dinner at the Trumpet. If you want to join us for dinner at the Trumpet on that Friday night, the 10th of April, then please email the restaurant. I think it's info@thetrumpet.be. Drop them a message. Tell them you're with the Audi TT party to reserve your table. Tables are going fast. It's a really, really popular event. We had a great time there last year, or this year, should I say. But obviously, this is for next April. The Saturday is the main event. So from 10 o'clock until 3 o'clock, we've got the International TT Show being held at Caddy Cars. It's a museum that features about 50 or 60 vintage cars. They're all priceless cars as well, worth a fortune. I can't say how good these cars are. And they're all still driven. These cars are still used in rallying around Europe. It's amazing to see. There's also a car restoration unit across the road from the show, and it is it's called Mistral Cars, and they service cars, all sorts of like performance supercars, and all the tools are laid out beautifully on these mats. It's just honestly to see it, it's just like a real enthusiast shop, a bit like my garage, or maybe not. But let's talk about winter motoring. We're talking about winter motoring right now. And one thing I think everyone should have in their car, always, right now, is a jump pack. Because these cars aren't being used daily most of the time. Your car might be daily used. But one thing I recommend is buy a jump pack. And I've got 3 here tonight that, I'm getting nothing for this, guys, just so I'm just putting that out there for you. But I'm going to share with you my experiences with them, because I think I'd rather tell you what I find with them, because I say I'm getting nothing for it. People send them to me, and I'll be honest. And I say that when these companies send me stuff and say, "Oh, will you do a review of my stuff?" And I say, "Yeah, I'll do it, but I'm going to tell the truth." So if it's good, then good for you. But if it's not good, I'll be honest. So I've got 3 products, do slightly different jobs, but they're all jump packs, right? So let's talk about these. So going back about 3 years ago, Top Don, quite well-known company, Top Don, sent me this pack, right? This one. So it's called the JS1200. It's got a little jump pack on the bottom of it. This is powerful enough, even though it's quite little. It's got a torch on the end of it. You charge it up on USB-C. You turn it on, and a little light comes on. Shows how much battery's on it. See that? Anyway, so this one is powerful enough, even though this is only the JS1200. This one, so it's quite a weak one now. I think now they've got like a 2000 and a 3000, so it's an old one. This, but this has got enough juice, right, to start my 3.2. It's got a little boost button on the side here. Where is it? There. So you press the button, and it does need that to start the 3.2, but it does do it. And these retail for about, I don't know, about 40 or 50 pounds, I think they are, for a jump pack. But that has got me out of trouble. Not only this car, but a load of cars, starting the cars, always gets me out of trouble, right? So that was really good, right? So I've had that about 3 years. Then last Christmas, Auxito sent me this. Now, for those of you, I don't know, I've done a video. I might have done a video of this on the channel. Now, this is really good, this one, right? So what I like about this, I don't know if it's charged. So let's see if it's charged. Because what I like about it, if it turns on, no, it's out of battery, which is always good. Obviously, you charge them up by USB-C. But what I like about this, it's got this massive floodlight on it, and it's magnetic. So on the back, it's got magnets, so you can stick it to any metal, any ferrous metal object. Turn the big floodlight, and you've got a working floodlight. It's also a jump pack as well, so it's got your leads on there. That is also another really good little product. It's out of battery because I've been using it as a floodlight, which has been left on the box. But again, I think they're about 50 or 60 pounds for those Auxito ones. Now, Auxito also sent me a set of headlight bulbs. If you've not seen my video on that, check it out, because that headlight bulb video will tell you exactly what I think of Auxito headlight bulbs. And they don't work for the TT. So you might see there's a guy in the US that does TT stuff as well, Mark 1 stuff, and he got a set of these bulbs and he reviewed them. And he did get them to work for the car, but it's an older one where they've got the ballasts off the headlights. But those headlight bulbs didn't work for me, and I contacted Auxito and said, your bulbs don't work. you sent them to me to test and you want me to do a video, well, they don't work. And they're very apologetic, and so they've got a new product coming out that will work better. So they almost admitted they didn't work. So they do not work, those bulbs. So that was but the jump pack is very good. And then for what I use, the pièce de résistance for my Papaya, I've not done a review video on this. I get nothing for it again. So it's called either AC mount or AC mount, right? But not only is this one a jump pack, it's got like the little torch on the end. What I like about this, it's also a tyre inflator, which is happy days for me, because most of our tyre inflators that come with the car, they plug into a cigarette lighter. Yep. The Papaya doesn't have a cigarette lighter because it's got a double DIN stereo, so all the controls have moved down, so there's nowhere to plug that cigarette lighter in, so you can't use the traditional pump that comes with the car. So you need a battery powered air compressor like this to pump your tyres up. So I keep this in the Papaya because it's got the facility to attach the leads to do a jump, so I can jump start the car, give it a charge. I can also, it's got a light on it as well, and it's also got this tyre inflator, so that's a really good product. So that, and it comes with a nice little case as well. So AC mount, definitely recommend them. It's really good. I've not done a video. I need to do a video on that and tell you all about it. But AC mount is definitely the one I'd go for. Oh, I just knocked my microphone on the floor. Also got these set of really good little mics I use as well. They're in my TikTok shop, but that's another story. But for the cheap, best little one, the one I've used mostly has been that topped on one. I think it's a really, really, really cool one. So I think I'd highly recommend that. Going to turn it off because there's the light. There's the light on it, so it's pretty good. Can't really see with the carriage lights on, but anyway, I'm going to turn that off. Really good. So if you wanted, I would recommend whatever brand you go for, get yourself a jump pack, because they really do make a difference to you. I've still not made my brake pressure bleeder. So for those of you watching last week, I've got a brake pressure bleeder. It doesn't make a very good seal on the reservoir. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this bit off this old brake reservoir lid, and I'm going to put the feed through there and then do it up, and I'm going to use that brake pressure bleeder because that's what lets it down. I think he's here right now. Yeah, he is right now. Yeah, you guys are having your own little conversation. That's all cool. That's what this is about, guys. That's about getting you guys together in a room, and then we can sort of ask, bounce ideas off each other. So if you've got any questions, guys, get it in the chat, because everyone here will help. My channel is just here to sort of facilitate you guys chatting and getting together. And what we're going to do as we move forward, we're going to try and get this session to get a few of you on live with me. We can ask questions, bounce ideas, and we make it a bit of an interactive session. I think it would be quite cool. If you're interested in doing that, let me know. Give me a thumbs up as well if that sounds like a good idea to you. That'd be good to know if you think that would be beneficial to people to speak to us all and talk about what's going on. I do also want to get some of the YouTubers in as well, because we used to do a live YouTube meet, the UK YouTubers that is. We used to have a meet on a Sunday night and talk about what's going on in the TT world, talk about issues, way we could fix things. So it's a bit like this, a bit of a melting pot for ideas. And obviously you've got the experts. You've got Bryn, you've got Dom from the Parrot Bros, also a font of all knowledge. Carl Chris, great for the Mark II stuff as well. So you've got all these people bounce around with ideas where you can really sort of get some information. Great live vids, and your YouTube has helped me. That's Paddy Dan. Thank you very much. That's what makes it worthwhile for me doing this, is when I read things like that, is that I'm helping people out. That's what it's all about. Hopefully the lives are interesting. It gives you something to do in an evening, doesn't it? Rather than sitting at home twiddling your thumbs, you can join in on the lives and talk about things that are going on with your car. Ask a question. If there's topics as well, guys, if you've got an Audi TT Mark 1 and there's a topic you want covering, you've got a question about a car, Andy, can you do a video on it? Please, I'm always interested in doing videos, suggestions from you guys. So if you want to suggest a video, put it in the chat right now, or drop me an email at the channel, because it's always good to know. And if you're joining me for the first time tonight, again, my name is Andy. My YouTube channel, as you're obviously here, is Andycharger. Please do subscribe to the channel, where you'll find a whole host of content on the Audi TT Mark 1. Also, Ford Fiesta Mark 7 as well, because believe it or not, my son and my daughter have both got Ford Fiesta Mark 7s, and We've done a few videos on their cars to keep them running, because things like changing the oil, changing a wing mirror, changing lower control arms, all those sort of jobs that you need to do on cars. There's only about 10 videos on the Fiesta on my channel, and there are about 600 videos on my channel in total. A lot of shorts, I agree, but there's a lot of content on the Audi TT. And every week, my top 10 videos, I guarantee at least 5 of them like Fiesta. The Fiesta's the most popular videos because there's a lot more of them, I guess. But what's important to me is not so much the volume of views are important to me, don't get me wrong, and making my channel grow and get to more people is important, because I would love this at one point to be my my future. I mean, I'm trying to help you guys out, but I like to bring my sort of my take on the scene, try and help out, but it doesn't pay the bills, unfortunately, guys. So that's why things like super chats and joining my channel as a member really help me out and help me bring you more content, because I'm not getting paid for what I do. Stephen Harper here from the Stephen Harper YouTube. Oh, Stephen Harper. Yeah, we need to get you on as well, because you were always a regular contributor to our little nights, weren't you, as well? So let's get you on. Any idea on fitting a new oil pressure sensor, battery out to gain a bit more access? Yeah, I've not done the oil pressure sensor on the 225. It's a lot easier on the 225 than the 3.2. I've done it on the 3.2 and it is a pig of a job. But you can get more access and it's easy to do on the 225. If I remember rightly, it's about here on the 225, back a bit behind the sort of like the inlet manifold and a bit sort of over is probably the best way to describe it. Stephen, I think you've done it, mate. Have you not done that job? Changing the oil pressure sensor on the 225? Definitely helps. You and Travis TT YouTube have been killing it. Yeah, Joe, Travis, you're still on here. I mean, hats off to Travis. He's a new guy on the scene. And if you're not subscribed to Travis, guys, so TT or T Travis YT, yeah, check him out, TT Travis, because he is fantastic. He's doing lots of mods on his cars. He's doing a lot of jobs where he's having to think outside the box to fix things. He does it with his buddy as well. Really entertaining. It brings a great idea. He done a great video recently on making his own engine mounts out of like molding them out of like silicone, but it was really and set them and had to set and cure for like a week. Amazing to watch. It's thinking outside the box where you've got a problem to solve. So definitely check Travis out. Really good. And also Lambo's Lounge. Lambo's in here as well. He's got a roadster based in the US. Check him out because he's got a great content channel on various bits for the Audi TT Mark 1 as well. And living with the car and jobs he's doing. He's working on his PCV system as well. So check him out on here as well. For those of you that are buying parts, maybe. So should we talk about breakers in the UK? Because the braking scene is really, really quite strong in the UK. We've got a really good group of breakers here. Spent the afternoon with one of them today, actually, and I was asking him a lot of questions. Really, I should have filmed it and sort of got that sort of input from Serkan, because he's a very knowledgeable guy. He's based in Enfield in North London. So if you need any parts around the North London sort of home county sort of area, Serkan is your man. And I was sort of asking about the braking scene. Now, how are you finding it? Is business good? And he said the trouble is right now is everyone is braking cars in their back garden. I think it's because cars right now are becoming, they're getting too expensive to fix. They're becoming uneconomical repairs. So it's easier and it's more profitable for you to break your car for parts. But of course, that then puts a bit of a competition, I guess, into the braking scene, because if someone's braking cars at home more cheaply, parts are more readily available. People can get to them easier if they're more local. Excuse me. Facebook Marketplace is a great place to pick up parts. I'm guilty of that myself. The Project TT has been broken for parts. I've sold most of that car, and all I've got really left now is a shell in the garden and a boot full of headlights, I think is what I've got left. Still got the headlights off them. But I'm going to do a video on that as well. I'm going to split a headlight. So people often get stuff inside the headlight lens, okay? Or they get delamination of the reflector. People want to fix the reflectors. They want to change that. Let's get more panelists on. It'll be good to get everyone's story. Yeah, absolutely, Mr. GMT. We are going to do that. We're going to get. Thank you for another £5, $5 super chat. Thank you very much for supporting me, and that's you are so kind for sending me super chats, and you're like one of my best supporters on here. You're always happy to donate, so thank you very much. So, guys, if you want to contribute to me, then please do put your super chats in the chat. I'm always happy to take donations and support what I do because it's a bit of a thankless task, but I love doing what I do for you guys because it's keeping the scene going. Because in the UK, although the scene is very strong still, there has taken a bit of a downwards turn recently. Um, Dom stepped away. Really, he's not as active as he wants. Well, he hasn't got any TTs anymore. Breen's obviously quite busy as well. Chris has sold the Mark One. He's got but Chris has got a workshop now at home in Lincolnshire. So if you need any Audi TT work doing from a really a reputable, good guy that knows his stuff, passionate about the Audis, check out TT Tech. So that's Chris's business, TT Tech, and they're based up in Lincoln. So check him out if you want any work done. You'll find him on Facebook. He's in all the groups, but check him out. But where was I going before that? What were we talking about? Breakers. Yeah. So the break-in scene. If you want parts in the UK, there's some really good people around. We've got two really good guys in Essex. So we've got Jason Case and Adam Tankard. They specialise in the 3.2 V6 and the 1.8T respectively. They're based in the same yard. So if you want any parts, they're you guys to go to. If you're over on the West Country, towards Wales, South Wales, we've got Mark Stanley. Now, Mark has supplied me a lot of parts over the time, including my diff, my Haldex. He supplied me when I first had a problem with a subframe. He got me a subframe. It was here next day. £50 for a subframe and delivered on a pallet. Can't ask for more than that, can you really? Really good guy. Then if you want to go a bit further up, you've obviously got is it TT Parts at Barnsley? You've got those guys really know this stuff. But TT Spares in Crewe, which is Matt Hillard and Andy Hillard, great guys. They do servicing, they do tuning, they do parts. Matt is really, really active on TikTok as well. So you find Matt on TikTok, does some great stuff on there. So he's got a lovely range of cars. So if you want to check out Matt's stuff on TikTok, then please do. And also get in touch with those guys if you need any work doing, because they are not only your part supplier, but they're also your tuner and your servicer as well. And that's something I really lack round where I am is I would love to have my go-to garage local for me to go to. There used to be Four Rings in Dartford who are a big Audi specialist, but they seem to have fallen by the wayside. They seem to have shut up shop. They're not taking on new customers when I phone them, which is not very helpful. But I've got a guy that is an ex Mark II owner called Martin Scott, who's based up in Dartford, and he can service your car. He's a really reputable mechanic. So if you're in the southeast looking for someone, Martin Scott is your guy. BMR, his company's called. It's a bit too far for me to go to do work, and obviously I try and do as much as I can myself at home. But doing the rear subframe, am I going to be able to do that myself? Hopefully I can, but we'll see. I'm going to give it a go because the Papaya really is now, the show season's come to an end really. There was a show on Sunday morning in Rochester. That was my closest one last Sunday, but that's it for the year now. There's no real shows going on other than the TT meal we've got in the Duke's Head in Copthorne in Crawley Down, by Gatwick. If you want to join us for dinner on Sunday the 14th of December, so a week next Sunday, we're going for a festive menu at the Duke's Head pub in Crawley Down. You can find the details on most of the Facebook groups, and we are going there 5 o'clock for dinner. You need to book, but please speak to the restaurant. I'm telling you, with the Audi TT group, and you can join us for a bit of conversation, bit of fun, chat, banter. Just a group of really good enthusiasts. We get together and talk all about cars. Maybe I'll do it. I won't do a live from there because obviously people will be having the dinner. But it'd be good if you want to come along, be part of that. Please get in touch with the Duke's Head pub in Crawley Down and book yourself a table for the night. Be really good. What else have we got going on? Well, that's it. I'm talking about this. So I'm going to take this off the road for the winter, I think. Get it off the road. Need to do the alternator, as we know. Need to do the subframe. So it gives me a chance to get it all off. And I think when I've got the subframe off the back, got all the suspension off, we can really clean it up and make it absolutely pristine at the back there. Ernest has got a grey one. Andy Python's got a black one. Ernest, what grey have you got? Is it Dolphin Grey? What grey have you got there? Aviator Grey. Don't see many of those cars around, do you? That's quite a rare colour. You know, what's your? Maybe I should change my question now. Is what is your favourite rare colour in the Audi TT Mark One? Aviator Grey, evening Charger. Oh, Mr. Foreman. Just as I start talking about aviator grey cars, because when I think of an aviator grey car, it's your car I think of. So for those who don't know, Carl that's just in the chat now, he's got one of the finest examples of a TT around. It's immaculate. As they shouldn't, it doesn't go out in the rain, so that's all good. Yeah, I'm good, Carl. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you for dinner in a couple of weeks' time. On a week on Sunday for dinner, so it'd be good to see you there. Do I need to bring a cake? Maybe I should bring a cake. I don't know. I'll say the restaurant might get funny about me bringing cakes. I don't know. But yeah, so Carl's got a really great car in aviator grey. But what is your favourite rare colour? I always remember Dom telling me his favourite rare colour was tourmaline, and in colour you don't really see. It's really, really rare colour. But for me, this was always my favourite rare colour, one of 41 made for the UK market. It was always my favourite. But then I started losing a bit of passion when all these Japanese import cars started turning up in the UK. And yeah, and here we are. But it's still a beautiful car. I still love it. And I'm going to keep it. But what is your favourite, guys, in the chat? What is your favourite colour, TT, rare colour? Yeah, the papaya is a great colour in it. Yeah, we need to. We still need to get together, don't we? Me, you, and maybe get Jeff out. I think that'd be a really good sort of combination of cars. Unwashed silver, Stephen Harper. You've got. Is yours an unwashed? Yours always looks like immaculate, Stephen. Thought I see, is it not? Black, and whoever at the Audi plant has put in the tinted headlight, the tinted needs their butt kicked. Yeah. Do you know I saw a car today that had got tinted rear lights. At the breakers I was at in North London today, it had tinted lights, this car, and it had a rear ender. You go figure on that one. So I would say don't tint your lights is probably the answer on that one, or get them done professionally, because that's probably not a good idea to tint your own lights. Should we have a look at this 225 engine while we're here? Because I'm doing a lot of talking with the Papaya behind me. So if I spin you around, so this is the right here is the block, the 225 BAM block right here. So we had, so this is the block. A lot of things have come off it. You can see we've got the inlet manifold is off now. The turbo I've removed. Most bits are off it. The alternator's off it. The power steering pump's off it. The AC compressor's off it. And they're all things I've got. Make sure I've got my mics and stuff. They're all items I've got on my shelf. So I've got things like, you know. So there's the alternator off the 225. Now, apparently it's the same part as on the 3.2. So I could potentially just bolt that straight on my 3.2, couldn't I? But as it's an old one, do I want to do that? Just trying to work out. That's not the voltage regulator on the end, is it, guys? You might be able to help me out. I don't know. So I've got all the parts on the shelf. There's the turbo off the car as well. So for those of you that don't know how, I'm sure you all know how turbo works, don't you? Do you all know how the turbo works? So obviously it sucks in air through here, goes round this snail, and that little impeller in there compresses the air and forces it down here into the engine to give you a more explosive spark. And that's all driven off the exhaust gas on this side that spins that impeller up. So that's why you get turbo lag, because the exhaust gases have to pass through to spin the impeller up to start the compressor in compressing the air down in the turbo. So that's why you get turbo lag. It takes a while for the exhaust gases to go through, spin the impeller up, start that compression cycle, And once that's started, that's how it works. So yeah, yes, that is the voltage regulator. Right, 1 second, Travis. Okay, this bit here on the end, that's the regulator, yeah? Cool. Well, that makes that nice and easy because I can take it off there and have a look. Thank you, buddy. I'm going to take it off and have a look, so we can do that. But while we're about it, I thought we'd just give you a bit of a rundown what's happened with this engine, right? So if I do that, if I move you around here like that, does that work? If I turn that down like that, there we go. Can you see my hand here? Yeah, you can. Okay, so let me get the belt. Is that the belt? No. Is that the belt? Trying to find the belt that came off the car. This is the one. Right, this is the belt that came off the car, and you can see it's got a paint mark where it's been marked previously. So if you can imagine, the belt would have gone round here, through there. I'm not going to be able to get it through, but I'm just going to put over there just for now, right? So imagine it's going around here. So what happens is this, the crankshaft pulley down here will rotate 2 times for every 1 rotation of the camshaft pulley at the top. Okay. So when you are doing your cam belt, you have to get this all lined up with total dead center. So you have to do that by getting this lined up. When the belt's on, turn this at least up to 2 revolutions to get it back to the top. Okay. Once you've got that lined off, you take the belt off, put your new belt on, and off you go. But what has obviously happened is this belt here has stripped teeth, which has caused the wheel to slip, which then means the valves are in the wrong position. So the interference engine is no longer not interfering; it starts interfering, and causes a problem. Have you seen the electrical turbo? No, silver red. Hi, S-Cow. How you doing, buddy? So yeah, so that's what's happened here. This is turned, slipped, and caused the valves to bend. So that's So what we're going to do is, the rocker cover I think is unbolted at the moment. I can take the rocker cover off, but all I'm seeing then is the cam shafts. Doesn't really give me much of a sort of an insight into much more than that. So what I need to do, I need to get the cam shafts off, then I need to get the head off, and then we can get to a look at the valves. Now we could, if I come around this side, so what that guy was doing was, if I just back you up, if I back that up like that, and he was looking at the valves through this inlet manifold. I can't see anything through there. So, but he was looking through there to see what he could see. But yeah, I think once we get it off, we're going to find there's going to be a lot of damage on that. But yeah, but do you have a little tour of my garage? Show you the Andycharger workshop. Probably be upset by the state of it, but you know, is what it is. When people come for Springfest, I don't let them come in the garage because they'd be horrified of how messy it is. But so there's all my parts bits in there. So if you can think, I've got all my cubby holes, anything I need, like alternators, starter motor, axle stands, spare brakes and components, bolts I've taken off, tools, everything. I've got all this. It's all, I know where it all is. I know where it all is, sort of. And I've got a variety down the end there of wheels and tyres and brakes and you name it. And then obviously down here, that's the main event, isn't it? Hiding away down there. The 3.2 V6 in its pride of place. So again, I'm having that. Unfortunately, the new garage door we're having fitted is black, which I don't think is going to be very good for filming. I did ask for a white one. They don't do it in white. So, well, they do, but it's got to be the same colour both sides. I didn't want a white door, I wanted a black door. So we're going to have a black door on there shortly. And a new door here to stop it squeaking during filming. Blue denim. So you must have a pre 2003 2003 car. I think they stopped making denim in 2002. I think prior to after that they made Mauritius. So Mauritius blue changed up after that, and they used that instead. So at least you're not working in the mud. No, I'm not working in the mud. I wouldn't like to work in the mud. I've worked in the mud in my younger days. I did a horticulture degree in HND in amenity horticulture. So I've done my days of working outside in the mud. I get cold and now, but I could still do it if I had to, I suppose. Well, maybe not when the cold at the moment. It's the Monjaro kicking in, I think. I just realised on my we talked about these, didn't we? About these jump packs. I just realised I've turned my light on my jump pack. That one's the one that. That's the one that comes with the tyre inflator as well. So I think I don't know what the light's doing now. There you go, turn it off. Yeah, that's got the tyre inflator. So I highly recommend getting one of those for your cars, guys. Again, I don't get anything for it. I'm not going to recommend one to you, but I just recommend you get one of them. Is the best thing, because for me, it's got me out of trouble so many times. Particularly if, you know, not everyone's. I've got jump leads up on the garage wall, but do I want to be bringing a car around to get my car going? Absolutely not. So what I'd much rather do is plug one of these jump packs in and get my car going again. It's definitely the way forward. So yes, that one's AC mounts. That's got the tyre inflator. Auxito, I've got the big flashlight. So that's the big Auxito one. That's also a good one. But again, the original one for me was the Top Don, the old guard. It's really good. But so guys, if you've got any questions for me on the cars, if you've got any questions for me on any of my projects I've got coming up, if you've got questions on the TT International Show for next year, please let me know. If you're coming, let me know in the chat if you guys are coming to the Duke's Head a week on Sunday for the festive dinner at 5 o'clock as well. It'd be nice to know who's coming along, and if you've got any general questions on the cars. Should we have a look at? Do you want to have a look in the TT? Should we have a look in the TT? Because it's let's have a look inside it. Because it's fine. Just bear me a moment, guys. I just need to pick up the line to move through. If I bring you around here, because what had happened, obviously prior to today, because I've got the day off today, I've done a few bits of preparing. So it now, when I open the door, you've now got power again, which is amazing. Didn't have power before, but have now got power again. So if I get in this side of it, not doing that, you can hear so that's one thing you can know about your fuel pump as well, is when you open the door and it's not being used for a while, you hear that fuel pump prime. But people will also say, if you open the door and the fuel pump doesn't prime, oh, your fuel pump's failed. No, that's not the case. So once the pressure's up in that fuel pump, once it's got pressure in that fuel system, it won't reprime. So don't think when you close the door and open it again, you don't hear it. Because I think if I do it again now, if I do close it, I bet it doesn't do it this time. See? Because the fuel system is primed. So you would think by opening it a second time, oh, the pump's not working. But it has. It's primed. So don't expect to hear the fuel pump every time. Right, if I get in the car, we'll have a little chat. All right. Let me just come over there, and then we'll bring you down a notch. Like that. This is probably behind the scenes, isn't it, tonight? Let's drop you down another one. There we go. So this is inside my 3.2 V6. And you'll see that I have got a double din head unit in here, which is aftermarket, as you can imagine. What's on your roof? Oh yeah, Carl, I know you'll probably start itching and flicking over that. It's a couple of like helicopters that have come down off a sycamore tree. They've landed on the roof and I've not cleaned it off. So don't tell me off, I will clean it. How much should used seats cost? Or how much should the used seats cost? I sold interior for mine, Nathan. and I sold the seats and the door cards. I think I sold it for I sold a few other bits as well, but I think I sold it for £100. The seats and the door cards, to give you an idea. Um, they were good condition seats, to be honest, but they are currently in that roadster that I mentioned. If anyone's looking for a project roadster for the winter to fiddle with and get back to its former glory, there's a black one in Hastings right now, £550, owned by a guy called Cameron. They're about to have a baby, so he's looking for a buyer. So if you are interested in buying a roadster project in the southeast right now, that could be the car for you. It's got the aftermarket honeycomb grille on the front. It's got new bumpers on it from my project car. The interior is good because I know it came out of my coupe that I have broken for parts. So yeah, it's all good. So if you're interested in that, let me know. You need to get it off, mate. Oh yes, I know I do. I just did give it a flick. I will clean it up. I won't. Don't worry. The paintwork's all right, Carl. I know that you'd be having a fit if you're here, wouldn't you? If I don't do that, I'll clean it up just for you. But yeah, so this has got double din stereo, so it's missing the TT flap. Now I have got all the parts to put this back to standard, a standard car, if I need to, and I do want to put it back to standard at some point in the future, so it's worth the most money. But of course, I will have impacted that a little bit because it doesn't have original calipers anymore, because I have just done the Brembo brake conversion on it. So there's a video on my channel from last week, if you've not checked it out yet, which is about putting Brembo brakes on an Audi TT Mark 1. And those brakes are a straight fit off a Seat Leon Cupra R, original generation. So those brakes bolt straight on. They are a smaller disc because the discs that come on the 3.2 are 334 millimeters, and the discs on the Seat Leon Cupra R are 323 millimeters. But you're going from a twin pot stopping power of the standard calipers on the 3.2 to four pot calipers, four pot pistons on the calipers on the Seat Leon Cupra R. So I think, yeah. So yeah, I didn't want to modify it. And I suppose it's OEM plus, isn't it? I suppose we go for. But yeah, so it is what it is. But it's not. There's no performance modifications to it really, like power wise, and there are no suspension or lowering or anything like that going on with this. This is standard, other than those brakes. And the brakes were forced on me because the brakes that were on the car originally were binding quite badly, and they were binding, so they blistered the paint on the driver's wheel. That's how how hot they were getting. All that weight you've saved as well. Yeah, the old calipers are they're quite beasts. They're quite big. They're quite wide compared to the Brembos. Totally different style of brakes. But the brake pads are different style as well. So the brake pads I class on the traditional caliper are sort of like they're sort of like a crescent shape, aren't they? And they've got like the little feet at the top. Whereas the Brembos are more like squares, like slices of bread. They look like slices of toast. I think they look like almost. But they're and I've put Brembo brakes in them as well, because people were saying, "Oh, buy yellow stuff pads and buy this and buy that," and I was like, "Do you know what? The Brembo brake calipers, I'm going to put Brembo pads in them because that's obviously what is meant to go in them for standard. I only want standard road pads. I'm not going to take the car racing anywhere." So that's what I did. This car also has, even though the cigarette lighter has gone out of this car, because all of the controls, you notice, so you've got here. You've got the heated control matrix, which has had to move down because obviously you've got the double din stereo. And because of that, there's no cigarette lighter tray at the bottom. So what you have instead is there is a USB lead. There's a lightning connector that comes out of one USB socket, and we've got in the other one, we've got the USB-C socket for the other cable. So it's got USB-C power in the car as well, so we can charge phones, play music, whatever we want to do. But it's really quite cool. It's got these, you can't see that, can you? It's got these cup holders with TT printed on the top of them, which are not my bag at all. That's not for me. But that was with the car. I'm not taking them off. It's quite easy to remove. You just pull those out, the vents out, put the cover behind, and then put it back up, and then that's that done. So it's not for me, but it's a bit of an aftermarket features. How did they hook that up? What the USB-C stuff? Okay, so I didn't see how it was installed, but essentially, if you think about, so here's the double din stereo. Now all of this unit is an aftermarket unit. So the whole of that centre dash has been removed. So the bezel, the plastic bezel, is gone. This is like a leather-bound bezel that's been replaced. It's a whole unit, and I think that the standard TT hot wire harness, it comes as a kit, and they've actually done the whole harness. So I have same situation, no ashtray, so no lighter. Need the lighter to charge phone. Yeah. So Horace, that's why that's done. So it's obviously got some sort of feed out of the back of that Kenwood stereo that it's got USB-C charging. So that's how I get around that. I'm trying to think if there's another way to do it, that you could do that. I have to think about that, because you can also get wireless charging for the phone, like magnet, but you still have to plug that into something, don't you? So that's not going to help you with that. But need that, like yeah. So I'll see if I can find the manual for it, Horace, and see how it's done. And if I can drop me an email actually at the channel. If you drop me an email, and I'll see if I can work out how it's done, and I'll let you know. Now, that cup holder is better than the ones that come with the Roadster. Hard to get to coffee when driving. I don't mind that, Nathan. So this has also got the cup holders down here. You're talking about this cup holder here, aren't you? This one here. It has those as well. So I actually prefer those because I can get to a drink. Whereas the coffee holders, because they're built for a coffee cup, the Coke cans just go straight through them. And I drink Coke, and the wife drinks coffee. So we're a bit we're a bit sort of I'm a bit sort of stuffed for my drinks. But the seats, as you can see, are Alcantara. So they're not full leather seats. They're the half leather Alcantara. Lovely condition, actually, these ones. The back seats have obviously never been sat in, as you'd imagine, for the back seat. I've also got a dash cam on this one. So again, it's not me fitting this, but these are all fitted. So this all interacts here with the Kenwood stereo. So I can see it on the screen what's going on. It's got a reversing camera as well. This car's also got, believe it or not, it's got reversing sensors fitted to it, aftermarket, which makes me feel a bit dirty, because I think the reversing sensors spoil the look of the car. The car didn't come with reversing sensors, they're aftermarket. They're painted, they are colour coded, but they're not quite the same colour as the bonnet, as the bumper. And I have had them repainted when I had the other paintwork done on the car, and it's still not quite right, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of them. But the car is the full black interior, and the black headlining, black carpets. It's all black on the inside, which I think is the interior to have, the black interior, because the sort of the greys and the other colours aren't really for me. But yeah, so that's the interior of the car anyway. So we'll jump out, and then we'll carry on discussions outside, and we talk about other stuff. So we'll shut that up. I'll bring you around. So if I lift you up from where you are. So as part of the when Bryn came down to see me, and we talked about doing the cam belt, or we did do the cam belt, or I did the cam belt and he instructed me. What he left me with is the instructions written on the board there. So you can see that's the instructions on how to fit a cam belt. So all the steps, and he's got a little tick by them. So to be fair to Bryn, when he did it, he's very meticulous about what he's doing on his job. He, even some of his great experience, he still needs to check off all the steps to make sure he's missed nothing at all, which is really good. So as we went through the steps we've got written down, we were ticking them off as we went. So that's really good. Black and lack appeal. Okay, yeah, that is a bit of a pain, isn't it, for our TTs, that you have a lot of lack appeal on the skin of the car. Certain colours are worse than others. The black seemed to be one of the cars that it shows up on, but it might be because of the colour that it highlights when there's peel. But I'd say the worst colour car for lack appeal is Mazzano red. And it's actually scientifically proven why. Because the pigmentation in the Mazzano, well, in a red colour car, it has a lot of ferrites in the paint to give it that colour, which obviously absorb the UV radiation. They heat with it, and they cause expansion on the paint. It causes the paint to sort of stretch and compress and stretch and compress, which causes the lacquer to then almost like lose its binding layer to the paint, cause it to bubble up and eventually come apart and come off. So that's why you get the problem with red cars. And I've got a video on that as well. I've got a lot of videos, but if you want to watch a video on why red cars peel so badly, check out my channel. There's a lot of videos on there that cover jobs and maintenance on the Audi TT Mark 1, but there's also a lot of videos on there that cover stuff you might not know, like the design history of the Audi TT Mark 1 I've covered. Why right now is the right time to buy an Audi TT Mark 1. Lots of things on there. So how much time do you have working cars by yourself? 10 years, 5 years, or so forth. Me personally, Nathan, I'll give you a bit of a background about me if that helps give you some context on it. I've been driving for 35 or 34 years. And when I first passed my test, I had a Mark III Escort, and it had a few holes in it, and it was my mum's old car. And I wanted it to look as fast, as quick, and look as nice as possible. So I did some work on it. I did some bodywork filling. I fitted a body kit to the car, and that was it for that car. And I had a few performance cars after that, but then for 20 odd years, I didn't touch cars. They were just to be driven around, and I didn't care about cars. And then in 2018, I decided to buy myself a car, like a classic, a future classic. And I liked the TT, and they were cheap, they were affordable. So I bought myself the Roadster, and I had that for 2 years, and it passed its MOT, flying colours, until at the end of 2020, it failed the MOT, and it needed a new CV boot to be fitted to the drive shaft. I didn't want to pay the garage the sort of £300 to have it done. I thought, I'll give it a go myself. The car's not worth that much money. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. It's not a daily. I've got time to do it. So in 2020, I set about changing the boot. Couldn't find a video online on how to do it on YouTube. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to film it. And then two things. One, I film it. I can see the steps I've done, so I can go back and review what I've done. And two, if I do a video and it's helpful for someone else, then I'm happy to share it. So I shared that video on YouTube. Prior to that, I've done no mechanical work on cars. So my mechanical experience is just working on these cars since then, since the end of 2020. So 5 years probably. And my mechanical experience is by me fiddling and having a go and seeing if I can do it. So if I do it on here and it works, I'm happy to share the experience. If I do it on here, it doesn't go so well, again, I'm happy to share the experience so you guys can see what doesn't go so well, because it's good to show that you don't make the same mistake as I do. A great example of that, and something that no one had really told me about on the brake pipes, when I was taking the brake pipes off, was like a little nut on the top of the brake, on the hard pipe, going onto the soft nut. So I put a spanner on that nut at the top, tried turning it, and it was turning, but it wasn't very good. And then I realised very quickly, and luckily I hadn't done any damage, that what it was doing, it was almost like trying to rotate the brake pipe. So I could have essentially damaged the brake pipe. Luckily I didn't, and I realised then you've got to just hold that firm and unscrew the bottom of it, which I cover in the video because I don't want people to make that mistake and damage their brake pipes. So that's that. DIY detail, yes, I am keeping the Papaya now as it stands. Never say never. I was offered £10,000 for it, the guy was looking to spend £9,000, and I said, I wouldn't take an offer lower than 10, and he suggested he would be interested at 10, and I said, well, I spoke to a few people, including Mr. Foreman on here. Thank you, Cole, for your input on it as well, buddy, because that really helped me. It helped me. It's reassuring that people think I'll be making a mistake if I sell it. So I decided, from input from a lot of people in the, a lot of people in my circle of friends in the TT world, fellow YouTubers with obviously Bryn and other people, saying I'd regret it if I sold it. Funny enough, I saw Serkan today, and I said about it to him. He said I'd have snapped his hand off. So Serkan had a different viewpoint on it. Hi Cliff, how you doing? Don't think you would find another one with that. Yeah, I would have regretted it. This is 68,000 miles, this car. I don't know. The only The only UK registered Papaya I know with lower miles is Pearl Mac's got two of them actually up north. She's got two that are low miles, but I don't know of any others. There's one for sale right now, or was last weekend, on Facebook. It's on 140,000 miles, a UK registered TT in Papaya, and it's 5.5 grand for 140,000 miles. So I think at 10 grand, it's cheap, really, isn't it? So maybe I need to put my price up. But you know, at £10,000, you're into the world of Quattro Sports, aren't you? I want to try. I'm trying to get that gone now. Also, I don't need that on there anymore. Why is that not gone? No, sorry guys. I'm just trying to get the question. I've still got that question in front of my face. Hopefully, you haven't had the question there the whole time in front of my face. But I don't know how to close it down. Drag here. Oh, there you go. I've ended the Q&A. That's better. I can see myself now and see what I'm looking at. Yeah, so the Papaya, I didn't want to sell it in the end. You know, like Bryn said, £10,000 is £10,000, isn't it? It's not Papaya. It's not a Papaya Mark One. It's gone. So has that been there the whole time? That question over my face. Sorry, guys, didn't realise that. Not you need to look at me anyway, but hopefully that's now gone. That was the first thought when my nephew offered to sell me his. If I don't buy it, I'll regret it. Yeah. Good. So I've had that up the whole time. Sorry, guys. Didn't realise that was up. But anyway, it's gone now. I know that for future not to put those silly questions on screen, or to, if I'm going to ask them, end the poll very quickly. But yeah, so the TT is staying. I've got the subframe here that I bought from Sercan, which I think needs doing. It needs stripping and doing again personally, because I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to powder coat them. Just doing it in hammerite, it's just, I don't think it looks as good. So I'm going to get it. I'm going to take it in, get it stripped, get it painted up, and then happy days. I've got one to go on the car. But yeah, other jobs I've got coming up right now on the car. I obviously need to give it a clean, don't I, Carl? That's one of the first things I need to do, and I will do that. I won't be bringing the Papaya to the dinner on the week on Sunday, because I don't trust it right now, because it needs that alternator. But I'll come in the Tesla for that as well. So I've also started alternator update. Yeah, I haven't done the alternator yet. So it could be the voltage regulator. And I was going to tonight. I was going to do the hidden menu on the air conditioning controls on 20C to see what voltage is coming out of it. Just because I want to see if the voltage is dropping. So if the voltage is under the sort of, if it's down below 12, like 11 sort of area, then we know it could be the regulator, so we can just change off. But I'm going to take the alternator off anyway. So I'm going to do a video on alternator removal, and then alternator testing. And I'm also going to do, if it's the alternator that's gone, it might do us a favour, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a rebuild kit for the alternator rather than buying an alternator, and I'm going to rebuild the alternator if that's a problem. But if not, if it's the voltage regulator, as Phil sent me a message saying, a link to it, that the regulator is about £23, so that might be a cheap fix for us. So we'll see how it goes. But I scored my B5 for 3K Audi off an old lady. Its base is still like new. That's amazing. Always good to get her. Sitting in my 225 roadster eating Taco Bell. Oh, where is that? Where are you eating Taco Bell? Are you in the US or are you in the UK doing that? Garrett Gouda. A bit cold in the UK to be sitting in your roadster eating Taco Bell, but not too cold to drive it. Because I say, if you the video that's coming to the channel tomorrow night, guys, at 7:30, is all about driving the TT Roadster in winter and about how much fun it is. I took mine out last weekend and filmed it. I took it out yesterday to do some editing bits I've not done. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a rebuild kit for that alternator. Hopefully that could be it, because it's if they're like consumable parts like that, that would be all it is. So Yeah, Parrot Bros. Yeah, Dom is still around. He doesn't have any Audi TTs at the moment. He's sold all his gear up. He's not doing videos, but he is. You can find Dom on on TikTok. He's known as the Fragrance Viking. So he's now doing aftershave and fragrances on TikTok, doing very well for himself. He's really grown a massive following on TikTok. So do check him out and give him a follow because he's. I mean, what Dom doesn't know about TT is not worth knowing. Between him and Breen, they are like the gurus of the TT world in the UK. So I bow down to their knowledge. I thought that was AI. What the TikTok stuff? No, it's Dom doing it. He's doing after. Funny enough, doing YouTube and doing social media, we get sent a lot of stuff to review, I guess, and sort of like try out. I've got a load of stuff, a load of videos I've got coming out and stuff, but it's got to be relevant to what you guys want to see. Yeah. So as I mentioned tonight, the people that send me these things, these jump packs, these jump charge packs, I'll share with you if they're any good. And if they're no good, I'll tell you they're no good. Luckily, the three I've got here, the top Don one, which is the cheap one, absolutely fantastic. And I'm not going to tell you which one to go and get because they all do a different job for a different reason. This one's fantastic because it's got a great big light on it, so you can work. It's magnetic. This ACK mount one is good because it has got a tire inflator. So if you haven't got a tire inflator on the car, that's a tire inflator. And the top Don one, which was my original one, it will jump start anything. It jumps, and it's only the 1200, the JS 1200, and it jump starts my 3.2 V6. So it's got enough oomph to get it going. But so Dom's doing aftershave now as well and fragrances, but obviously he realised that's going to impact his Parrot Bros channel. So he's doing that separately on TikTok is probably the best way to describe it. He's doing very well for himself. It's not AI. Give him a follow, give him a buy. But again, these people, because we're doing social media, they send us things to review like that. But they also I've also been sent some aftershave, some fragrances, but they're very nice fragrances, but I don't see how you guys are going to be interested in that. So I'm not doing that on my channel. Anything car related, I'll share with you. And on my TikTok channel, I do some car related stuff. I've got some really good work lights. I don't know if I've got them out here, and also these little microphones I'm using tonight. So these are on my TikTok channels. You can buy, they're about a tenner. But if you're working like this now and I go and stand in the garage, you'd hear me very distant. Because I've got these on, it's linked to the phone, so you can hear me no matter where I am. So they're really good. Not you need to worry about that on here, but that just goes to show you if you're doing content, that's also really good stuff. But yeah, so things that are good, I've got an impact gun, £15 for an impact gun, so that's sort of thing that might help you. I get sent a lot of those Apple CarPlay screens that stick on the dash as well, and they range in price from about £50 to about £350. So it's no consistency. They're all okay. They do a good job. And I will I'm going to get them all together and review them all at once. So that's my favourite. That one's no good. This one's really laggy. I just fitted one for my mum yesterday in her F4 Cougar, and it's made by a company called Lamto. And where they've all struggled in the past is they're a little bit laggy. The software's a bit laggy, but this one's really responsive and fast. So I'm going to review that, and they've fitted it in their Ford Cougar so they can go on holiday this week, and they've got a sat nav that works because their Ford Cougar is a 2016, and the sat nav's out of date, so it sends them off down all the wrong roads. Whereas now she's got it linked to her phone on the dash. They can watch it. It's got all the sound. It's got a dash cam on the back of it. Happy days. 50 quid. I'd have one of those. Anyway, do you perhaps have a spare gear shift mechanism for sale? Do you mean the selector under the actual lever? That bit, that the gator and stuff underneath. So the actual rubber gator I haven't got, but that stick that goes down for the gearbox I've got here. Yeah, the actual stick part. You want that bit, do you? So the bit the gear stick where the bit it bolts onto at the bottom. That bit, yeah. If that's the bit you're after, yes, I have that still. And if you want that, drop me a message at the channel, drop me an email, and we can talk about that. I've got loads of bits off that 225 still knocking around. I also got the selector cables that are on the car still, and I've got the gearbox here as well. So I've kept those sort of things in case, big items, in case the roadster ever has a problem in the future. We've got them off the shelf. We can get and get going. Like so on this one, I'll say this one. You can't see what I'm looking at. So here is the 1.8 BAM engine again. And it's sitting on this engine stand. So I bought an engine stand for £15, right? Sorry, £25 off a guy in southwest London. When I picked it up, it does a great job. What it's got this hand on the side, so you can rotate the engine, take the bolt out, you can rotate the engine around, so you can build it and work on it. But what it did, I didn't realise how lopsided the weight of the engine was, and it spun out of my hand out of control, fell off the engine stand, and it landed right here on the. See if I can bring you in to have a look at that. It landed right here on the oil cooler, and it bent the nozzles on the oil cooler. So I'd never better use that again. So, right, what do you need? You need one of what? You need the oil cooler. Yeah, unfortunately, the oil cooler is probably all right, but the ends are knacked, so they'd be no good to you, mate. But yeah, that would have been what you'd. But you can. So if we have a look down in there, can you? So there's the inlet manifold holes there. So I can't quite see the valves. I think unless there. In there is that because that one of the valve stems that you can see there, maybe, I don't know. Oh, the engine stand, I meant. Oh yeah, I needed the engine stand because again, I want to use this engine as a bit of a tutorial piece of work, you know, for you guys. So I want to strip this down and show you what damage has been caused, and when I get it stripped down, I don't know how I'm gonna sandblast it or shot blast it. I want to get it to actually look like brand new again, and then I'm going to make it into a coffee table or something like that once I've got it all apart. It'll never run again. Although my nephew seems to think he could get it running again, but that's another story. He wanted to do that last Christmas. We had it in here last Christmas. On Christmas Day, we were doing a TikTok live where we had the engine and we were taking it out of the car. It took me till August to get this out of the car because just ran out of time on it. But it's pretty cool. It's nice to see it out of the car. So who was it earlier talking about the oil pressure switch? Who was it on? Someone was talking about the oil pressure switch, weren't they? Do you remember? If you're still on here about the oil pressure switch, guy, because here is your oil pressure switch right here. So there's your oil cooler, and here is your oil pressure switch. So if you want to work out how you'd remove it, it's right down here. Didn't see that, so I don't know if you're still here. But anyway, that's your oil pressure switch for removing. Now, on the 3.2 V6, the oil cooler is about here, and the oil pressure switch is actually about here on it, and you just cannot get to. You have to take the front off the car to get it out. I've a video on the oil pressure switch. You have got a video on that, Stephen. So you're the man to go to on the oil pressure switch, but not on the 3.2. I've got a video on that one. But there you go. So there's your. So Stephen, when I was shouting about earlier where it was, why didn't you shout out where it was then if you knew where it was? But it's there. That's your oil pressure switch, and it's just right there. But yeah, I'm gonna get this all cleaned up so we can turn it into a coffee table. But yeah, check out Stephen Harper VW as well, guys. He sees in the chat there. So if you are an Audi TT fan, check out Stephen. He's also got videos on a Corrado, not a Sirocco, but he's got it on a Corrado as well, and various other things. Good channel, good guy, lots of knowledge. How do you know what 1.8T you have? Had to replace the engine when I got the car. Don't know where it came from. Right, okay, so that's quite easy. So if we look at so here's your block. As you're looking down it, you're looking down your TT. So on the driver's side in the UK, there's this little stamp right here. You see that? And mine says BAM. So this is a BAM block. So that's how you know. So it's only the block really that is the difference in those. So when they're talking about you know, what your what block you've, what engine version you've got. It's the block. That's the bit there that tells you that. So this is a BAM. What do you think will break if I drive my car home with a broken cam belt tensioner? I did, but don't notice anything. If I had a broken cam belt tensioner, there's a chance that your belt is going to jump because it's lost the tension. And if it jumps, your belt slips, your valves are going to come together and your engine is going to go bang. So I wouldn't be doing that if I was you, Puff Daddy Juice. I would definitely not drive that until I got that sorted. So the cam tensioner is, let me get some bits. 1 second. So here's the bits that normally come in a kit, right? So this here is your water pump. That is your water pump, yeah? So that bit obviously goes inside the engine block for pumping your water around. So in time, this plastic would corrode, but like it would break down in your engine. So that's when your water pump starts to fail. It either seizes up because the bearing seizes up, or you find that the plastic starts to degrade and it doesn't pump your water. So that's normally a common failure. Always change your water pump when you're doing your cam belt. Then you've got the damper right here. And you can see this one, you can press that. So that shows you that's worn because that you shouldn't be able to press that in there. But that's your hydraulic damper. And there's your cam tensioner there. So again, these can also seize and they can lock up, and that might be what your problem is. So that's quite an easy. So there are 3 bits you need to change when you're doing a cam belt. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight into bits to do on your cam belt. Made it home on pure luck. Yeah, mine doesn't look like that. Okay, then I would definitely get it changed out for you. What's that, Cliff? Didn't see that. I don't know if he was laughing at what you said, maybe. Yeah, it's getting a bit cold out here, guys, so I'm going to be wrapping up soon, I think, unless you've got any other questions. But please do give the live a like if you're enjoying what you're watching. You've got 26 likes on it at the moment, so 15 people in there. So if everyone gives it a like, 16 people watching. If you 16, I bet not every one of you is giving it a like. See if we can get up to 30. Make my evening. Oh, someone's just unliked it. Oh, thanks for that. It was 26. It's now down to 25. So it's 28 now. Thanks, guys. That helps. But yeah, and also thanks to everyone that has sent me a super thanks tonight and helped support the channel, because that really does make a difference. And if you want to support the channel more, then you can. Oh, someone else has unliked it. It's now down to 27 again. Super thanks make a big difference to us as content creators, because it helps support us as what we do. We don't get paid fortunes by YouTube. It's not, YouTube's not my job, guys. I have an actual job. YouTube's just my hobby, as Stephen will probably also attest to, that it doesn't pay the bills. But we do what we do because we love bringing you guys content and we like sharing what we do. So if you are enjoying what we do, do think about joining the channel as a member to help support me every month. Or if you want to also send me a super thanks or super chat in the lives or even on my videos, always massively appreciate that. Help buy me a cup of coffee somewhere when I'm really cold sitting out in the garage. So everything you can do to support us is most appreciated. But yeah, so the good news is, though, the Papaya is staying. And we're not getting rid of it. We've got the new, new to me. We've got new to me. This rear subframe. So it looks pretty. It does look pretty snotty, though, even though it's been refinished. It does look quite snotty. So that's going to be fitted to the car, so we can get that on the car. And yeah, the more I look at it, the more I'm not overly impressed with it. But it is what it is. Yeah. What do you want for 120 quid? Oh, Kyle Foreman, thanks, buddy. Do you have a buy me a coffee link? I don't have a buy me a coffee link, but you can do you can buy a you can send a super chat through here. There's an option on the chat to do a super thanks. or you can join the channel as a member. I have a PayPal link as well. So yeah, anything you guys want to send me, massively appreciate it. It all helps keep me keeps us doing what we do. But yeah, really appreciate all the sort of help you guys do for us and all the support you give us. I just realised I'd missed out on a few things because people had been putting comments and my comments had stopped, but it's all there. But yeah, thanks, Carl. Really appreciate you sending me that. That will help me buying the wife some more flour to make you a cake at some point, no doubt. Coffee, you English don't, you mean tea? Well, that's TEA if we're having that sort of tea. I don't really drink coffee, but I do drink tea. But California here, what's up, my dude? But yeah, I do. So buy me a tea link. I should have buy me a can of Coke. I'd rather have a can of Coke than a cup of tea, to be honest. But it's in fact, not that's a lie. I'd like a cup of tea right now because I'm trying to lose a bit of weight, so I'm on the old jabs. I'm on Monjaro at the moment to try and lose some weight because I was pre-diabetic and I had high blood pressure and I was clinically obese. So I've been on the old buy me a Jack Dance is a good thing. So I've been on the jabs for the last month. I've lost 1.5 stone, which is good. Trying to get my health back together. Even though I play ice hockey, you think I'd keep myself quite slim and trim and thin, but I don't. I eat all the wrong things. But now I've changed my life. So yeah. So hopefully I'll be around to bring you guys content on the channel for much longer. There's my range of various cleaning products and oils there behind my head. So Carl, you'll probably have a fit of that. There's probably nothing of anything worth more than about £1 in that shelf of products, but that's what it is. But hopefully, maybe next week. So I'm going to do a live next Monday. I'm going to try and do these on a Monday night, guys, for you. So you get a regular sort of like stream of people coming through, and then you know I'm online. Hopefully the new garage door will be on by then, but I don't know. I'm still waiting to have that confirmed. I also need to get the ceiling finished and get it whitened up, so we've got more of a studio in here, and get that strip light replaced. So we've got more light in here for filming, because that's something I do struggle with. I mean, I've got good light for this because I've got a ring light around my head, but but good news that the Papaya is staying. The Roadster is now all MOT'd and back on the road. It's great fun. The black car hopefully will be going off to the scrapyard at some point because there's not that much left of it now. But do want to get rid of that as soon as possible as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks. So it's been a long time since I've seen a lot of you that are coming out for dinner on that Sunday. But please check out the video tomorrow night when it goes live. It'll be live and I'll be there to chat from 7:30 all about why you should drive a Roadster in winter. There's some more videos coming this week. I think I've got a video on the Peugeot 207, my son's car, that's just gone. Booked my ferry for the TT International event. Looking forward to it. Simon, you will have a fantastic time, my friend. And what I'd say to everyone that's coming this year that's not been, and I've not met you, please, when you're there over the weekend, please come and grab me and come and say who you are and that you've watched the channel or whatever. Because what I want to do this year, I want to make as part of the video, I did it in this year's video, I had a picture of everyone that sort of was there that I spoke to. So can I have a picture of you? And then I'm going to put a montage of people and their cars together to feature. So there was 250 cars there this year. I think there'll be more next year. So, but I'd like to do a segment on it about owners and their cars. So I'd like to meet you, have a picture done, talk about your car, film it, and then just make it a bit more like that. Because during the day, it's just like it flies by. It's so quick, you run out of time. But please do that. What oil do you put in your one to lift my Roadster off road tires, aluminium skid plate? He said, "Oh, nice. Oh, thank you, my guy. Thank you for sending me that super chat. That $10 US super chat. Thank you very much, buddy. Love that you've done that. Thank you so much. That makes such a difference to us. Thank you for doing that. There's a question there on oil. I can show you what oil I use on the 3.2. I've not used this on the 225 yet, but I can show you. Use a quantum oil. Let me grab that. Here we go. So here is the oil that I use. 5W40 Quantum Cube. I use that in my 3.2 V6. That's what I use. Just give you a shot of that. It comes in, interesting, it comes in a box, right? So I'll show you inside. It comes in a box, but it doesn't. It comes in a bag. Look, it comes in a bag. So rather than it being what I class as like an oil, like a normal oil container, which we've got up there, it comes in a bag. Talking of gifts and stuff, do you know what? I've not fit these to the car yet, but I'll show you these as well. So these came from when I went to the TT show this year, International TT show. There's a guy that comes from Germany every year called Victor, and he drives a cherry red roadster. Beautiful car. And we went to the Nürburgring a couple of years ago. Carl, Chris, myself, Dom, Bryn, and I didn't take my car because it had broken down for a change. And so I was standing filming at YouTube Corner, and this guy came to me, "Oh, Andy." I said, "I'm Victor, and I watch your channel." I said, "Oh, great!" And we started talking, showing me his car, and we became friends. You know, he just come up to me at the Nürburgring and chatting, and he bought me a water bottle with TT engraved on it, beautiful water bottle. So when I saw him next at the TT show, I gave him some Andycharger merchandise. I gave him a hat and some other bits, and he was very grateful. And, "Oh, thanks so much, Andy. Thanks so much." And then when I saw him at the TT show this year, he said, "Andy, I've got you a present." And he'd been to the Audi Tradition Museum, and he had bought me these to fit to my car, and these like number plate surrounds. But look, they are actual Audi number plate surrounds. They've got the Audi logo on the back as well, on the stamp as an official Audi part, I think, somewhere. And they are, where is it? But they are from the Audi Tradition shop. So I was really kind of them. I've not put them on the car yet. I've been waiting to get some new plates because the plates are quite old. So it deserves some new plates, and I'm going to fit those on it when I do. So that will look really nice. I'm going to do that. Now, I'm going to scroll down, guys, because I've probably missed more stuff while I've been talking. Looks like a casket. Yeah, it does look like wine, doesn't it? Making prison wine. Yeah, I use Castle Edge 5W30. Or Audi's always use this on all my cars. Yeah. I mean, to say, Carl, you probably know that the best about oil. People say oil is oil, and I know that now after my son's got a Peugeot 207 before he did his Fiesta, and I bought the official Peugeot oil they recommended, and because the engine being a Peugeot engine, it always had low oil pressure because it was leaking oil badly, and when I took it to the garage, they said, "Don't use the Peugeot oil, use this." And it was a thicker grade oil. He said, because it's a bit thicker, hopefully it won't come out the engine so easy. And it cured the problem. It didn't leak anymore. And we didn't get the oil pressure warning either. Probably starved the engine of oil, but it didn't get the warning, which is good. But yeah, I have a Panzer plate on my roadster. I like it very much. What is a Panzer plate? I've not heard of that. What is that? In the UK, do all license plates look the same, or is there different looks depending on where you live? Yeah, so I'll give you a little how it works in the UK. So this is how it's worked since about 1999, 2000. So the first two letters indicate where in the country the car has come from. Okay, so so my roadster is LT 03. So the L part indicates it's in London. So it's a London plate. M, I'm not quite sure where it is, but most of the cars where I live in Kent, and most of the cars start with a G. So my Tesla starts GF. And the G and the L stands for London. And in Essex, it's got an E for Essex. And in Kent, it's got a G. And it's got the G because it's called the Garden of England. A little bit of knowledge for you. So if it's a G plate, it's from Kent. The 04 is essentially the 4 part is the year in which it's made. So this is 04, so 2004. If it was a 54, it's made from, I think it's made for the second half of 2004. When we got to the year 2010, rather than this be a 5, this became a 6. So it's 60. So 60 plate is 2010. 70 plate is 2020. 80 plate will be 2030, and so on. And the NJZ is just the unique identifier for that part of that region. So M code is Manchester. Oh, so my car is mad for it. There you go. I didn't know that. So my 3.2 is come from Manchester. Is that what it is? Is that's my impression? um, I'm seeing cheap lift kits for Mark 4 TT. Okay. Say cheap lift kits. Are you talking about jacking the suspension up, Kenneth? Yes, you might be. Who knows? I guess it might be. But yeah, what is the going rate for a TT in the UK? Right, that's a good question. So if you, I did a video on is now the right time to buy a TT a few weeks ago. So check my video out on that. It's got some prices in it, but you can pick one up, a running car right now, a very tired running car for £500. So maybe about 700 US dollars. This 3.2 is one of 41 made for the UK market, and I've been offered £10,000, so about 13,000 US dollars. But a 3.2 V6 in a common colour, you can pick up right now a high mileage one, say 150,000 miles. You could pick one up for £2,000, $2,500. Give you an idea. That's better than the US. There are 50 different plans and they don't make any sense. Yeah, I get that. My T is broken and I got it for 650 quid. That's good, Kanamaya. That's good. Yeah, so my project car I bought for £300, so less than 400 US dollars. And I've broken it for parts and sold the parts and probably sold it for about 1,500 US dollars in parts. So I've made my money back on that many times over. So 1, 2, 8, 4, £13 is too much. Was that? So how many pounds is that? 1,284,000 £13. I'm not sure. I don't know if that comma's in the wrong place, Puff Daddy. But yeah, cars are cars are valued at what people will pay for them and what they're looking for. Being a low mileage Audi TT Mark One right now, at 68,000 miles, it's holding its money. The good things that count for this car, it's got full service history. Its color is a massive plus point. It's a rare color. It's low mileage, and it's a 3.2. The only thing you could possibly say might count against it would be it's a DSG and not a manual. I prefer the DSG, lazy driving, I know, but the manuals are seen as the more preferable car, let's call it. They all need another $1,000 of work regardless, but worth it. Yes, they do. They all need work doing on them, don't they? That's the thing with these cars, but it is what it is. But the headlights on this are really good as well on my car. If you see, I've not restored these, but they are still pretty good. And again, I did try and do that headlight swap out for LED bulbs, which didn't go so well because they didn't work. Which there's a video on my channel all about that. Yeah, 3 pedals. Yeah, I paid 1,500 for mine. Don't remind me what I've in it so far. That's the thing, isn't it? That you buy the car, but then it's what you invest into that car afterwards. And I've often thought about, well, if I did this and I did that and I did this. So again, talking about my son's car, that 207, the clutch went in the end, and to replace the car we paid £1,500 a year and a half ago, it needed a new clutch. If I put a clutch in that car, if I did it myself, it was going to cost me, the clutch was going to cost me £400. I wouldn't know how to fit the clutch. It was going to be probably a day's labour. My nephew was going to offer to do it for me. So it's probably going to cost, the car was probably worth £1,000, let's say, and it's going to cost me about £700 or £800 to fit a clutch. It's not worth it. So instead, we sold the car to Redcorn for £187, got rid of it, and we bought a new car from it. Which TT are you taking to the international TT event? So last year or this year, I took both of them. My father-in-law drove the other one. This year, I think we're taking this one because it's my wife's 25th wedding anniversary next year, and we are driving to the south of France in the Roadster next summer for a 2-week holiday. We're going to tour around France for 2 weeks. So we're going to give this a run in France first next year. Hopefully it lasts. Okay. Mr. John Tudor, what do you think when it comes to the numbers of owners, Andy? Yeah, you could have had one really bad owner and you could have had 10 really good owners that have got full. So owners, yes, I don't think owners is a massive problem on it, if I'm perfectly honest. Howard, how you doing around? Hope you and the phone well. Have you had to take the seals off? And is it a job to do in the spring? I've not taken seals off. The project car has got 2 seals on it that have got no corrosion, but it's obviously had an off at some point off that car, and it squashed the seals up. So they would be no good to reuse. But I think there'd be a great opportunity for me to take off and have a look. So I was with Sir Cam Miskin today, who's a breaker in North London, and he was taking Tony Porter's car apart in the workshop at the time, and it had no seals on it. So I think it's quite an easy one. There's got some plugs at the bottom. You unplug the plugs, and you can also run water for it. So if you know Paul Knight's got the Quattro Sport with about 465 brake horsepower. You may remember that Todd and yourself and I think Todd liked that car best last year when we were actually in Brighton. That he takes the plugs out of his seals either in, and he takes the wheel liners out and he flushes water through them on a hill, and then lets all the crud run out of them, and then puts a little under seal through it, and then he just lets it sit and dries it all out. So that's a good job to do. But I think, yeah, if I was going to do it, I'd probably do it in the springtime to let it dry out quicker and send some air through it. But yeah, Andy, I'm going to take this one to the TT show. I think a lemon car built on a Monday. Or it could be a lemon car. Yeah, it could be a lemon car. But this is a papaya rather than a lemon. But I know what you mean. When my TT stands still and it turns the steering wheel, the idles drop slightly. Any thoughts? I think, do you know what? That idle, don't forget, that's the power steering pump drawing a bit of oomph from the car. So if the engine's having to labour a little bit because it's putting some effort in, that could be why. Or bearing on the steering pump, yeah, could be going. It's the engine's having to do some work to sort the power steering pump out. It's all driven off belts, don't forget. So the belts are all driving the power steering pump. The auxiliary belt drives that. So if you're finding the bearings a bit tight, it's because that belt is getting a bit more resistance, which is putting a bit more strain on the engine. I hope that makes sense. And I think Richard's answered the same thing in the chat, actually. Very similar sort of explanation. Would that be about right, Richard? I think I got that right. Hopefully I did. If it's not making weird noise, it's fine. Yeah, they do tend. Sometimes they do have a little bit of a whine to them, don't they? On when you hear them kick in a little bit. So I don't think it's in it unless it's really noticeable. I think they all slightly do that anyway. Just my thoughts on it, but yeah, I'm gonna wind up in a minute, guys. Like it's 20 to 10, and it's getting really cold out here. And I appreciate there's 18 of you on still watching. But I hope you're enjoying what you're watching tonight. And I hope you've enjoyed it. But please do give it a like. I think we nearly got to 30 likes at one point. But if you're watching, you've just joined on, give the video, the live, a little like. And I say, if you want to support me and the channel, happy to send me a super thanks through to know you're enjoying what you're watching. Or you can also join my channel as well and become a member and support me, because again, we don't get it's not my job what I do. It's just I do it for a hobby. So if you want to support me, make more videos, let me please do contribute to the channel. Love the lives, mate. Thank you, appreciate that. So this is only the second one we've done, really. We started them back up last week. They are proving popular. I've got a lot of good feedback from it, and I am going to try and do these once a week on a Monday. See if I can bring some content to you guys and get the message out there. So yeah, really appreciate you all for joining me tonight and being part of the live. We've talked all about the Papaya, obviously. We've talked about the 1.8T engine. We've talked about the jobs I need to do on this. We've talked about the International TT show coming up. We've talked about the Christmas meal we've got coming up a week on Sunday. Hiya, Andy. I don't have a TT and I tagged along on the International last year. How long would you leave it before buying a TT for the next International? Well, if you want to come along on the TT International, I would get one fairly soon, because the last thing you want to buy is buy it quite last minute and then find it's unreliable and there's problems. You've got to have, if you bought one now, let's say, give you a couple of months to get that ready for bringing to the International TT show. And the good thing about it is you are only an hour the other side of Calais. So it's not like you're doing lots of driving in Europe. You're only doing so from a you know a, a, a breakdown radius, let's say, you're not too far from Calais, and there'll be so many of us there. Hopefully, we'll have some spares and bits with us as well that can get people out of trouble. You know, we're a pretty tight community in the Audi TT Mark One world, particularly, and we all help each other out as much as possible. So we can probably normally get people out of trouble. There'll be a few tools knocking around. And say if you're at the TT International show yourself, as you've been there before, you'll know there's Mistral Cars, which is the car restoration unit across the road where they do work on cars. So don't forget you'd have that as an opportunity to grab a tool and fix a problem if you had one, or they'd really help you out. Thierry De Heck, who runs the Caddy Cars Museum, it's his car museum. You know, he loves cars. He'd be more than happy to help you out. We've got some good things coming this year. I'm still trying to get hold of Audi Tradition because I would like them to bring the crazy 2.8 twin turbo car along. That's the Emily yellow one. It looks like a TT, but it's got a B5 running gear running through the middle of it. It's like a TT on steroids. They brought it once to the UK a few years ago. They brought it to the Vorsprung show, and we're trying to get them to bring it to Caddy Cars for the day. So I'm going to try and get hold of that with Audi Tradition. Got some good things going on that weekend. Obviously, we've got the meal on the Friday night. So if you are coming to that International TT show, please book yourself a table for the Friday night at the Trumpet, where we all get together and have dinner. Book it as part. If you let them know on the booking that you're with the Audi TT group, they'll put you all together sitting with us as well, which is always really quite cool. It's a good thing. Anyway, really appreciate you all jumping on tonight. As I please do give the video a little, give it a like, and if you can, if you do want to check the video out tomorrow night, that's coming out on should you buy a TT in the winter, a TT Roadster. And for those of you, whoever it was that was saying about buying one, there's a little black Roadster for sale right now. Oh, thank you, Carl. You're a legend. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. That blows me away. Thanks, mate. I'm a bit shocked by that. Thank you very much. Wasn't expecting that. Thank you for your kind donation. But whoever was looking to buy a TT before the International TT show, there's a black Roadster for sale right now in Hastings that's got loads of bits off it from my coupe. The guy bought it. He's done it up. He's done a lot of work on it, and now it is for sale because they've got a baby coming. They need the money. He's got it for £550. Well, that's worth a punt. And if you watch my video tomorrow night on Roadsters and why now's the time to buy a Roadster and enjoying that car in the winter and do it with some winter miles in it, you'll soon be hooked on why I love driving my silver Roadster in the winter. So yeah, appreciate all the appreciate your love and support tonight, guys, on the super chats, on the likes, on the comments. I love doing these lives. I think the lives are better than doing the videos, I think, to get to interact with you guys more. So I will be doing this next Monday as well. So if you've enjoyed tonight, please jump on next Monday as well. But yeah, babies they come along and cost you a fortune, but they're also well worth it. From the two I've had, although one is 19 and one is 21, nearly 22, they're expensive, but all good though. But right, I'm going to jump off, guys. It's getting cold. It's 9:45. I've missed I'm a Celebrity, not that I watch it. Yeah, I'm going to go and get into bed because I've got an early start for work tomorrow. But thanks for watching. See you next Monday. Check out the video tomorrow night. What Audi is it? This Audi. This is Audi TT Mark 1 3.2 V6 in Papaya. Please check out my video. Love the effort you put into this scene. Thanks, Andy. Appreciate that, Cole. That makes a lot. That's what makes this worthwhile when you guys give us content and feedback like that. Yeah, take care. Thanks for live. Thank you, Cliff, as well, for supporting me on here as well. Nice. I have a TT, but nice. I'm Mr. Briggs. Why don't you drop me a message at the channel telling me about it? Well done, lad. Yes, Stephen. Thanks for joining on, buddy, tonight. Let's get you on for join on with me next week. That'd be good to get you on again as well. Right, guys, I'm going to go now because it's blinking cold out here and I'm getting cold. The Monjaro's getting the better of me. Thanks, guys. Mr. GMTV, thank you. GMTV, Mr. GMT1. I'll pick up on your request on Insta as well, buddy, and I'll come back to you. But thanks for all your support and all your super chats you give as well. You guys are amazing. I love what I do. I love all you guys. Thanks a lot. Take care.